They're adding a dragon boss that requires more than 3 people to kill it. That is absolutely insane. What's going on, Dark and Darker people? In this video, we are discussing a little bit about the recent update and the Discord Q&A that happened yesterday with the main developer of Iron Mace, Dark and Darker, SDF. In this video, we're just going to quickly be going through all of the really cool stuff that was mentioned, all the new content that they're going to be adding in the next playtest and future releases of the game. So let's get started. Alright, first thing we're going to see is that the next map, the Ruin map B1, is going to be in the next playtest on April 14th to the 19th. I believe what we know about this from either other leaks or data miners or anything like that is that we know that this map is going to be sort of like a foresty ruin theme. Potentially we see here that they are considering the implementation of a solo high roller mode. There was some leaks about unused assets and animations for a demon and fuzzy spider NPCs, which he confirms here are likely to be developed in the future. This question was asked about dwarves and smaller hitbox characters. SDF, the developer, says that this is something that they will experiment with and see how it goes, so we could potentially see dwarf classes in the future if you're into playing ankle biter classes. There's a question about what type of mobs and enemies can we see in the B1 Ruin map, and what looks like we're going to see is new mobs related to like foresty related scenery, so things like tree ends, fairies, gnolls, etc. Later on in the game, they're going to be having randomized spawns of the enemy AI instead of very static in each room, so we can no longer predict which mob is going to be where. In the next playtest, or in the early access, we're going to see some new changes to Rogue in terms of abilities and other fun things that they plan to add. If you're not in the loop on the next character they're adding, it will be a bard. We just don't know if this is going to be released in the next playtest or in the early access. The team is going to continue to add future dungeons and maps. Another feature they've spoke about with Rogue, they're going to be adding different types of rogue poisons. A question about how the bard is going to play was responded with, play music with your instrument. Musical instruments are played directly by the player through control. The results will depend on how the player plays. So if you're playing a Bob Marley song, you're probably going to inflict a slow on your enemies. Nah, I'm just kidding, I have no clue how it's going to work. A question about dynamic environments, traps, and other different ways to kill people. The developer said, of course, we plan to focus a little on that side this time, so this could be maybe traps that you as a player can activate. Maybe you can interact with the map a little bit more to change the pathing and whatnot, so this could be interesting. To further that, there's a question about any new potions or traps that the player uses independently of the map, and they have responded with, I'm not sure, but I'm thinking I've added a little bit this time, which as we see by this response, it could be very likely that these things get added. Any chance to have katanas as weapons in the game? The developer said if it suits medieval fantasy. By this response, we can pretty much see that any new addition that we're going to get is going to be within the medieval sort of fantasy genre and era. Fighters are getting some new perks and skills, as well as the ranger having reduced their unlimited arrows, and now there's going to be a quiver system. I'm very sad about that nerf. In terms of new weapons that can be confirmed, we're seeing a one-handed crossbow. For those of you who got a little bit too rich in the last playtests, they are planning on adding new gold storage systems as we see in this response with gold chests. However, they might not see it in the next playtest. Another potential future weapon has been leaked or revealed here, with them potentially planning to add the slingshot. And then we got a question about bigger map, bigger bosses, and they responded with 3 people won't be enough to fight the dragon. I'm guessing this means there's going to be a new dragon boss. It's going to need more than 3 people to kill it, potentially higher team sizes for whichever map this is going to be, and that seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. Overall, what we can see for this next playtest is we're likely going to see a foresty, ruiny-esque map with new mobs and enemies, new weapons, additional changes, the ranger, rogue, and fighter. Those last 2 classes are going to have some more unique changes, whereas the ranger is getting sort of a redo system to what has already been done. Everything looks really interesting, should be a lot of fun. If you like this video and you like this straight to the point content, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and let me know what you're most excited to see in the next playtest. Thanks for watching.